guys. I am just checking in after on the remainder of that position I had on, and you can just see the results of it. And I mean, look at that Dow move, guys. And this is why I put this up for you guys. And this is exactly why it's good to have this if you are trading as a support or guidance location. S3 reversal, red to blue, ES, red to blue, both markets gave you those are the warning signs right there. Okay, now I was a little slow in this entry because I was short and I covered down in here, and then I got stopped out really fast. It scratched on my balance, which is fine because I made money on it. And then I had to make the decision whether I wanted to be on board. I wasn't sure if it was going to roll over and where this was going to come back down and blow through S3. I mean, all day. Look at the 15 on the Dow. They looked horrible. So, at the end of the day, the ES held its own. And that was a sign to stay on board. I mean, I would have been better off. I got in. I got in at 24, as you guys saw, and I scaled out. I didn't get greedy, and I took my last few off at 30. And you can see they're just, and I was on when I was on. I saw this late commercial spot pop up, and that was the incentive to push them higher through R1, which is where I had my second target. So I was long 24s. I took the 26s off because I got to protect myself off the possibility of a double top, which kept playing out all day. But this one paid out. Look at the Dow. Look at that S. That's an S3 reversal buy from the Dow at 33,440. The entry on this would have been somewhere in this ballpark. And look at that, 100-point rally, give or take. And now it's rolling over a little bit. And you can just see, and this is why the 15-minute chart is really good, because look at it tells you a lot about price and how price is relating to the moving averages. And once it gets there, and we were talking about it, it was hovering around this 33,490, and that was the key. It catapulted it to where it is now, and it took the ES with it, which is what we was waiting for. But the ES held its strength much better throughout, and I think that's important for you to understand, is that the ES is wound tighter of all the three. Nasdaq, obviously, and actually, Nasdaq just made another high after that sell-off. So everybody's making new highs. It's a big party on Wall Street. So, and all we can do as traders is play with it. You know what I mean? So this is a live presentation. I'm going to be on my hands. I just don't see. I mean, look at all this. We are above R1. We are within striking distance of R2. I would consider another long maybe if it pulls down a little bit closer and it reverses off of R1. I just don't think it will, just based on my knowledge of this platform. And look at how far price is above this ribbon, which I talk about all the time. Look at Momo. I mean, look at how it just developed off of this turn, and it just maxed, and it stayed maxed. Interesting enough was the Dow was different. Look at how the Dow's Momo faded, yet price continued. Look at it, decelerating, decelerating, decelerating. But as I stated earlier, as long as it hovers around 3, it's relatively bullish, and the Dow is just recovering and just catching up with everybody else. And the turn was here. This is why I talk about your first study as a trader should be take a look at your 15 every day in the morning. I plot the pivots for you guys so you can see them in advance. What is price doing at the moving averages right out of the gate? And I didn't really notice this early because I wasn't paying attention to it, but the MA was right there, and at the time it was right at the pivot. I took the short because I keep thinking this market is due for retracement. So it's all right. I made money on it. I missed the early entry on it, and I had to sit through all of this chop to finally get an opportunity to go with a long position, and that came right there. It stopped at 20, and it reversed hard because I was in a short at the time. And when you see something like that, and that's why you have your stops in to protect you. And I took it down to a scratch, and that was a smart move because I didn't get punished on it. And then I had to reevaluate, and I realized that the long was back in play, and I took it. So That was a live presentation. I really hope you guys really see now what I'm talking about in terms of all the markets and how well they react to the moving averages and to their pivots. In fact, where is the daily pivot? Oh, it's got a long way to go. 33,618. I don't know. I can't. It's a little late in the day, but I've seen crazier markups, and this is move is really strong. This went from 20. This is a 13 handle rally, and there weren't a whole lot of retracements. So I got in, thank God, and took advantage of it. So this is MR Strategies. This is today's late afternoon live presentation. I want to just give you an idea and show you that it's not about me just plotting highs and lows and saying get this, get that. And believe me, I didn't get where I really wanted, but I still used my indicators and momentum to help me make the best decision possible and give me a high probability trade with minimal risk. At the time when I bought the fours, I probably ran my stop a little too tight. At the time, I had 2.5, and I think that was the trend line. That's why I ran it to 2.5. Is it right there? Because I think when I had it, it came down. Nah, didn't make a difference. I never challenged. I actually lowered it because I think stops when you play big trades should be where the market should not go. But I mean, if you're taking a position all the way up here, ideally you're going to protect yourself all the way down here. And as for new traders, I don't really want you to put in 4 or 5 handle stops. You have to be smart about your stops. It should be two for two, two going in your way, two going against you, at least in the beginning until you get comfortable with your trading. Since I trade from the locations, my stops are a little more spread out because if I'm wrong, I'm going to be dead wrong, and that's okay because I believe that these locations are important and the probabilities are good that there's going to be a reversal in the other direction, and that's why I trade from them. So this is my analysis of how I'd like to trade, and I hope that that you guys enjoy what you see, and feel free to reach out. All right, you guys have a great day. Like I said, I'm on my hands now. I did pretty good for the day. I'm going to let this thing mark up, and then we'll take a look at it tomorrow. So have a great night, guys.